Hi, I'm Fatima.
And I'm Yoshi, and we are Ecosia's content creators. So we visit project sites around the world and then bring back a lot of material for you guys.
Exactly. And Yoshi just recently came back from a trip to Morocco, one of our newest projects, and he's prepared a little video summary of the footage that he brought back, and we wanted to give you a sneak peek into it.
So let's dive in. On the right, it's Peter, you know him already, our tree planting officer. And on the left, it's Rashid, who's a project manager for the High Atlas Foundation, which is our project partner in Morocco. And this is one of their projects. It's a women's cooperative, so a huge nursery run entirely by rural women. Mm-hmm. And let me just pause here for a second. What really impressed me is that 2 years before, we were told that these women would not have dared to be filmed or photographed. Mm-hmm. And when we came, they were so proud to show us their achievements. Yeah. So I thought that was a really, really good sign of how the project is working.
Yeah, that is great.
And then we drove up really high in the Atlas Mountains to see if the High Atlas Foundation is capable of building nurseries in such difficult conditions, and indeed they are. And I think this is my favorite part. So we drove into a semi-desert landscape. And here is where the trees that are funded by the Ecosia searches are going to be planted. So in this valley, there'll be fruit trees, and then on the mountain slopes, you'll have native species that prevent erosion.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So yeah, just imagine in a few years this looking much greener than it looks now.
Wow. And
then we went into a village, quite a remote village, to see what kind of effects tree planting has, because here the High Atlas Foundation has planted trees around 20 years ago. So you have these kind of apple orchards everywhere and these fruit tree orchards. And we tasted the apples. So it really makes a difference. And we also talked to the farmers there to kind of hear from them directly how that has impacted their life. And this guy, I'm not sure I should tell this story, but when I interviewed him, my last question was, "You seem very wise. Do you have any message for us to take home?" And our translator, Rashid, he heard, "You seem very white. Do you get any massages at home?" So these are the kind of things that can happen when you don't speak the same language. But we all took it with a lot of humor.
As did he, obviously. He seems very, very friendly.
Yeah, we noticed the mistake.
Interesting.
And this is a nursery we're also funding at the middle school, so the school children are managing it and then taking it home to their farm. And the one who oversees it is Saeed there. And I'm actually really glad that it's him overseeing it, because he's so conscientious and so serious, so I think it's in really good hands. Here we are at a youth center, and it's at-risk youth that are being taken in here. And it's actually really symbolically strong that, youth that have been in some way in conflict with their communities or with society through, petty crime or through violence inflicted to them, are now having this nursery which we are funding, and then giving the samplings back to their community. Yeah. So, first being in conflict with the community and then helping it thrive and thus reintegrating into it.
Yeah, that is really beautiful. Giving back to society with trees.
Exactly. This is a huge plot of land that a university basically gave to us. And here we can plant as many saplings as we want. So really, the more searches we get, the bigger this nursery is going to become. And it's, as you see, virtually limitless. Another bare piece of land that we're going to transform into a nursery is here in Ifran, next to a middle school. And the governor of that area of Ifran provided trucks and some earth to make the nursery even bigger. So the land is being filled in here. And this is the last one. This is also in Ifran, next to a university. And it's our biggest nursery. And you see it's absolutely huge. And these very days, it's being weeded out so that even more almond trees, in this case, can be planted.
Wow, it looks really
and
beautiful.
You can see how huge it is. And there's the same amount of trees is still behind me, so I was just filming one side of the nursery.
Wow.
So yeah, that was 1 week in Morocco, and I really think that there are some really good things that are going to happen there.
Yeah, well, looking forward to more, and thank you so much for this sneak peek. We hope you liked it too.
Yeah, if you have any questions, please just comment under this post and I'll do my best to reply.